And good afternoon. I got started working on this in the morning. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I know it's kind of last minute notice, but thank you for joining us today. We have a group of people here today, and I thought, you know what, if I'm going to play, why not just broadcast it and see what happens? I'm actually going to do a little fun little trick here too. I don't know if it's how it's going to work, but I'm just going to do this and see what happens. And oh, how about that? No, let's see. Switch. No, okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I'm doing here. I might cancel it. All right. Forget that part. Take two. Good afternoon. How is everyone today? Let me hear it. All right. Well, I know a lot of you know me. Actually, there's some names I don't recognize, but my name is Robert Roman. I'm the store manager. I demoted myself. Well, I got to clean the toilet sometime, you know. Anyway, and having a wonderful time here today with some music. And I figured at the last minute, I'd invite people out on the virtual world, and I'm just going to play some wonderful music and hope you enjoy it. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of our club and being part of our world, because without you, we don't have a Fletcher Music Centers. So anyway, a couple things that's very important. I may not hear it online, but I want to see it. Oh, by the way, the volume is set where it is. So I hope that the volume is okay, because it's kind of hard to adjust it as I go, but we went back and forth on that. But this is very important. First of all, you have to laugh at all my jokes, okay? Even if you've heard it before. Let's practice. I can't hear it, but I want to see it. Okay, I'll put this on gallery view so I can see you guys. And I better put my original sound for musicians, otherwise it won't sound good. Oh, I don't see a lot of faces out there. Turn on your videos. I like people's videos. And the last but not least, again, I may not be able to hear it, but the better you applaud, the better I play. So let's get me going. Okay, do a little bit louder. Real loud. Can you guys hear them applauding? Is my microphone? Oh, look at that. I got a bunch of emojis coming up. So I can turn up this microphone so that it makes it sound louder than it actually. Oh, and I have a backup one here too. We're going to do some 50s and 60s and all sorts of great in between. I might even go further back for fun. But, you know, I didn't realize this, but for many years, I used to open up a lot of my concerts with Broadway music. And I always thought they were like 70s and 80s, the songs that I learned. But I looked up this little medley I'm doing here. I start off with a little bit of Do, Re, Mi, and No Business Like Show Business. And you know, those were actually introduced in the 50s. Did you know that? I didn't know that either. So we'll start off with that and get me going here, get these jitters out here, and let's see. Now I got to push the right button. Let's see, this one here. Here we go. thank you very much. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that. Does it sound okay out there in virtual land?
Yeah.
All right. It's not clipping? All right. Well, we're gonna go back in time before the 50s. I did it in a class just not too long ago, and I promised to show it off. We're going to go back to the 40s first and then jump into the 50s because there's a lot of similarities in the styling of the music. But this may be a little bit before your time. Does anybody out there know the name or remember the name Glenn Miller by chance? Anybody? Yeah? Oh, there's some laughter going on. Oh, they're laughing there too. Okay. I thought maybe your parents told you all about Glenn Miller. Well, Glenn Miller was known for what kind of music? What do they call that era? Big band. Very good guess. And so he had a lot. He had a lot of great music in the big band era. So I'll start off with a couple of Glenn Miller tunes, and then partway through, I'm going to segue and jump into the 50s, and then we'll do a little bit of Bill Haley and his Comets. All right. And they're actually very similar in their style. The difference is the musicians that play in the band. So we'll switch bands partway through, okay? So in order to get Glenn Miller's band ready, I have to push the big band button. So that way he is ready to go. Ooh, fancy. That's the drummer. He likes messing with his cymbals. What time do we have, folks? Can someone tell me what time it is? 10 after? Okay, I want to make sure my watch is right because Glenn Miller doesn't like to wake up before 1 o'clock. Yeah, so he said the only way he was going to come was if he got to sleep in today. So let's just make sure he's ready to go. Glenn, are you ready back there?
Yes. Ready?
Oh, there he is. That was him. Yes. So we're going to feature... that was Glenn Miller here, not that guy. All right, so we're going to feature a Little Brown Jug. All right.
Play.
Just a second. Now he's getting impatient. And then we'll do a little bit of In the Mood. All right, so here we go. I think I'm going to sing a little bit. Are you ready? I should get an applause for that. That's not an easy note to hit, I'll tell you. I've been rehearsing that all week long, that one note. Oh, boy. All right. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I got a little applause there. All right, well, hopefully you're enjoying the music so far and everything is sounding good out there. Anyway, so I'm going to do a little country music. There was some great country music that came out in the 50s. Anyone here like country music? Yeah, yeah, what country? USA, okay. Any other? All right, nobody's going to try to stump me, so that's good. I had one group one time, I said that, and they were trying to throw some curveballs at me. One said Ireland, one said, oh, Australia, and then someone said a country I never heard of. And coincidentally, I looked it up. They all like Hank Williams in all of those countries. What a coincidence, right? So it allowed me to play Hank Williams country music. I don't know if that's true, but I'm saying it. So when you're on stage, you can say anything and get away with it, apparently, right? All right, we're going to do a little, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? You know that? All right, want to see some lips moving out there. So I need you to sing, because I don't really know all the words, actually. So we'll do a little like, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up for me? Hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we might find a brand new recipe? See, a lot of times when I sing in a sing-along, I kind of sing the words, and then if I don't know the words, like the next part, I never really knew. I knew something about a hot rod and I go, I got a hot rod, and I just blend in with the people, yeah. So sing loud enough so they could hear you on that microphone, all right? Okay, I'm going to push country. I'll get Hank Williams. He had a lot of great country music back in the 50s there. And let's see, get my guitar. Bring it down a few notches. Ooh, it's out of tune. Give me a second. Let me tune up my guitar here real quick. Oops. E string. Okay. All right. I'm all tuned up. Got a harmonica here. Let's see. All right. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? Let me hear you sing it. Here we go. Come on. Hey, hey, good looking. Come on, sing it. What you like cooking? Loud up. How's about cooking something? Hey, sweet baby. Oh, sweet baby. We might find a brand new recipe. Hope you're enjoying that so far. Now we might do a little song here by someone you may know. Did I do okay? Yeah. All right.
Melvin on the order.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you
Joys of Zoom.
Both. He's Peter.
Maybe they'll give us their bank account. I heard someone yelling at the guy that was supposed to fix her garage door one time, and he didn't install it right. And I didn't mute it. I wanted to listen. I wanted to see. It was quite entertaining. And then one time, there was a lady yelling at her husband because he did something wrong or something. Anyway, having fun. That's what it's all about. We're going to do a little bit of Elvis for you. All right, I'll start off with something slow, and then I'll go into something a little more upbeat as well. I can't remember I know the first song I'm going to play came out in the 60s. The second one, I can't remember if it was 50s or 60s. Maybe you can tell me, but I know it's one of those. I got a pretty good shot of getting it right. All right, the first one I'm going to play is Can't Help Falling in Love. And let's see here. I think I'm going to use what the instrument tells me to do. Song setup. Can't help falling in love. Or is it I can't help falling in love? How do they have it listed in here? Or I'll just A, B, C, D, E, H, I can't help falling in love. Nope, that's a different. They got a lot of I can'ts. I can't get started. You know what? I'm just going to push what I think. Okay, here we go. Now, for those of you who were in the class an hour ago, are you noticing? I went up. I was teaching a class on transposing, and then I said you could hold the fill in down, and then while you're doing the fill in, transpose up. And I said sometimes I do that because I'm trying to find what to do. Well, guess what? That's what was happening. I was like, well, where is that button at? Where is that sound? But the joys of playing one of these, you know. All right, well, you know what? There's a song that I'm going to use music for. I haven't quite memorized it. And I'll do a little medley here. And we have, this was back in the 60s. You might remember a group by the name The Temptations. You know, they had a lot of great hits. And then there was Ben E. King, was it, that did Stand By Me? Yeah, so I'm going to actually do a little medley of these two. And one is My Girl, and we'll do Stand By Me, all right? Let's see what we got here. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Did you ever push the wrong button on your instrument, folks? Yeah, or on a computer? No? No. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. How do you like the sound of that? It sounds like bacon, doesn't it? You know what that is? That's applause transposed up to the key of A. So if you ever want to fool somebody. Well, are you having a okay time out there? Yeah, or how about here? Doing okay? We're going to have some fun with this next number because Jerry Lee Lewis, you know Jerry Lee Lewis, the guy that played the piano, you know, and Chuck Berry are going to get together here. But what Jerry Lee Lewis is going to do is accompany Chuck Berry. Okay. Also, I don't know how to play the song "Great Balls of Fire," but I do know how to play "Johnny Be Good." So I'm going to use. So I wanted to kind of mend the two. So what I'm going to do is bring out Jerry Lee Lewis on the piano to help me out here, and then I'm going to have Chuck Berry come in and do a little fancy guitar stuff. Is that okay? Say yes? Thank you. All right, because I'm going to do it anyway. All right, here we go. By the way, I know you can't see it from there, but some of these songs that I'm playing, now that the camera's up there, I don't know if you can see around the camera, but some of them I'm just doing one finger stuff. You know, here I might get a little fancy, but some of the songs I'm just doing one finger stuff, letting the instrument do all the work. You know, when you're playing a $50,000 organ, might as well let it do some of the work, right? All right, here we go. Bring it down to a normal key here.
Hear it.
Well, it went down.
you, thank you. Oh, and finally, applause in the key of C. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Yeah, you transpose it up, you got bacon. All right, we'll go back to another, I think this was 60s. You ever heard of Louis Armstrong? And a hit song that a lot of people associate with What a Wonderful World. That was the 60s, right? Yes? We'll just go along with it. Okay. It's a beautiful song, so I'll play it. And let's see here. All right. Such a beautiful song. So I know you guys could probably see a little bit better there, but a lot of the songs I'm just doing one finger melody stuff, nothing really fancy. Sometimes I get a little fancy, and then sometimes I want to make the instrument do all the work, you know? So are you having a good time? Yeah. All right, doing all right. So now I want to go back. I have to go way back in time now. Actually, I got to go so far back. It's probably beyond your lifetime, because I always like doing a little something fancy. But I'm going to feature the sound of, start off with Pete Fountain. You know who Pete Fountain was? He played the licorice stick, they call that, which is the clarinet. All right. And Pete was pretty good. In fact, when I first started at Fletcher Music Centers, in 1993, and everybody was telling me, you got to learn Glenn Miller, you got to learn this, and you got to learn that, and Pete Fountain, and all this. And I didn't know any of those names. I was 21, and I came from a blues and classic rock was my love, because I played guitar. And so back then, 93, you know, if you wanted to learn some of these songs, what do we say now? Sometimes listen to the song, and we say, go on YouTube. right? Because they got every song on there you can find. Well, they didn't have YouTube in the 90s. So you had to go out and buy a cassette for one song, right? You remember that? And then fast forward it, and then sometimes I used part of the tape to record stuff, and then, oh, I accidentally recorded over. But anyway, and I heard Pete Fountain playing. What a marvelous musician. In fact, he even got to play on the Lawrence Welk show many times. I don't know if he was a regular musician, but I think back in my younger years, I used to visit my grandmother, and she had in her kitchen, she had a little TV. Was that popular back then? Back in the 80s, I think. I just remember, I wondered, is she the only one that had a TV? Yeah, a little square one and a tennis sticking out. And she was watching Days of Our Lives. Is that a soap opera? Yeah. There was a few soap operas that were real big back then. I think Days of Our Lives was one of them. And something about a hospital. Anyway, but I saw the Lawrence Welk show a few times on there. And actually, every now and then I'll find the Lawrence Welk show and watch some of the, just kind of get it, because there were great musicians on there. If you were on the Lawrence Welk show, you knew you were good, because Lawrence Welk was very particular about the musicians he had. A lot of people don't know this, some do, but Bob Ralston, the organist, he's actually a classically trained organist, which has nothing to do with the kind of music, but you can't play that kind of music and mess up. You have to be spot on. So anyway, I catch it once in a while. I'll go online. And you know what? I don't know if you noticed this. Maybe I think it's absolutely amazing. Every time I watch it, I like, they never age. It's the most amazing thing. Remember what I said earlier, you have to laugh at all my jokes. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to I'm going to do a little Dixieland music, and I like to play a song that we teach a lot of our beginners in the very beginning, third or fourth song, but I've played it so many times over the years that it allows me to get a little fancy from time to time. So I'll do a little bit of that. And then Pete Fountain on the clarinet here. Let's see. Oh, let's see. He's got to be somewhere in here. Let me get my Pete Fountain. Whoops, put the wrong button there. Let's see, down there. This is one there. Okay. All right. If I push this again, bring it back down to key C. There's Pete Fountain there, right? All right. And we decided today that we're going to have Pete Fountain, and we're going to let his brother sit. His brother didn't become as popular as Pete did, so we're going to let him play. Do you know?
No, I didn't know it.
His brother Pete Fountain. Oh, it's Pete Fountain and his brother Water. So we have, and we're going to have his cousins sit in. They played the brass instruments here, so we got Pete Fountain and his brother Water and his cousins Drinking and Soda on the brass section. So we have Pete, Water, Drinking, and Soda Fountain, the whole Fountain family. Remember what I said, you have to laugh at all my jokes. Okay? All right. All right, bring Pete there. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the bass line now. I don't think you could see it from there. Maybe, I don't know if this camera angle will get it justice, but I know I've been playing these sticks from time to time. I'll try to play them. That angle's a little hard to see it, but I got to do the bass line, you know. You ever see the bass players play? You ever see a bass player? You ever see a bass player play? You ever notice the face they make? They all do the same thing too. They go. You ever notice that? And it doesn't matter if it's an acoustic bass or electric bass. Any bass, they all do this, you know, and for years I thought you had to make that face to be able to play that instrument. Yeah, actually, there was a time there I thought they were all constipated. Yeah, but it wasn't the case. Okay, this is what you get for a free show, folks. What you get for all right, and I know what you're thinking, no refunds, okay? All right. Just want to clarify that. All right. All right. Okay. A lot of people ask me why I've been in the organ business this long, and I get to do the dumbest jokes and get away with it. That's the amazing part. Yeah, and I got a laughter here, yeah. It's funny, I'll tell my girlfriend some of the things I say to you guys, and she's just like rolls her eyes. And she said, do they laugh? I said, well, I think they laugh, but they laugh. I don't know if it's sincere, but but they do it. Okay, here we go. Enough talk. I had a YouTube comment once that said, too much talk, blah, blah, blah. But they watched it for an hour because I could see how long they watched it. So, so if you're one of those commenters, did you hear it? Thank you. Oh, get the camera back up. Oh, I had to quickly transpose it back to normal. So it wouldn't sound like bacon again. Whoa, well, I'll play a few more songs for everyone here, and then hope you're enjoying the show so far. Are you doing okay? All right. I got a couple more songs, but you know, I saw this over here earlier, and I know many of you watch us online and here in the store, and we always tend to gravitate towards the big models, because you know, when we make mistakes, you can't tell. Did you tell if I made any mistakes today? No, I didn't make any mistakes whatsoever. Zero. No, I made quite a few. But you know, I recently discovered this little machine here is absolutely wonderful. So if you're on there, tell your friends. Say, go down to Fletcher Music and check out this little guy. We're very proud of this little guy here. You know why? Why, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Because, you know, Joni, Dawn, Carrie, me, Todd, all of us that, you know, are involved in Fletcher's today, we're the ones that told John Riley how to build this thing. This little guy here. It's called Discovery 3 by Esty. And Esty is actually the oldest name in America in home organs. Did you know that? Look it up on Wikipedia. You'll find they originated back in the Civil War days building pump organs in Brattleboro, Vermont. In fact, it's my understanding that they still have the factory there as a tourist attraction and there's a street called Esty Street. I had a student once years ago that went, and that's when we didn't have digital on phone. You had to take it with a regular camera. And she brought back photos and she showed me Esty Street. I have them saved on my phone somewhere. I have to find them one day and kind of share those with you. But when this instrument was going to be designed, what John Riley did is he put up a flip chart, you know, those big flip charts with a marker, and he said, we got to design our own beginner's model, and we've been in the industry, what should it have? And so he just rambled off. We put a bunch of things, and then some people said, no, that's too much stuff for a small one. No, that it needs to have this. And then he had a bunch of cross-offs, and it was one flip chart, and he took a picture of that, and he sent that over to Italy. And that's how this got started. And then we hired Bill Curry, was the mastermind behind this and the first two models. And Bill Curry was, as many of you know, he designed all of these other organs in the store for, I think, 30 years or more. So I'm going to play a couple songs here. And then for those of you who are here today, you get to have some ice cream. Sorry. I can't, I've tried to figure out how to get ice cream online, but I couldn't do it. It might melt and destroy the equipment too. So I'm going to play a couple songs. Do I hear Daniel back there? Yes. Can I borrow you for a minute? Sure. Because, you know, I'm getting old in my age. I'm 52 now. You know, you guys don't feel bad for me at all, I can tell. I'm not getting the the warmth. Okay, let's see. Say hi, Tommy. Well, you can't hear you, but pretty soon we're going to be getting this guy on Zoom teaching and doing stuff. This kid is a genius. and a genius in a way that I've noticed when he's working with students that he does it on their level. So I'm very, very, very proud to have him on board here. But he also helps me with organs, so that helps too. Especially these little guys. Thank you so much. I think I got it from here. Let's see, the volume was... You can get the ice cream out and soften it. No, I'm going to play. He wants to make sure you have ice cream. So he takes it out now. It'll be just soft enough to be able to scoop it. I don't know if you could see it from there, but I'll just play a few songs here. Plus, you know, I advertise this today. I put these, sometimes I'll put these on Facebook groups all around, so I don't know who's going to show up, and I recognize a lot of people, and if there's people that aren't familiar with how we play and teach, this is a great way to get started. It's very basic and simple, and, you know, actually I'll just keep it right here on this little rock button here. go back to my old karaoke song back in the early 90s when I was finally of age to go to the bars. I turned 21, and I did a lot of karaoke. And of course, I only did it after about 2 or 3 beers is when I started singing the songs and putting the request. And boy, I sounded great. And after a few more beers, I thought I was like the best in the world, but I don't know how it went. But I had fun doing it. This was one of the songs. Oh, I love this one. Let's see. Take 2. I hit the wrong notes there. Here we go. There it is. Is that volume okay? It's not clipping. It was a really hard time trying to get everything adjusted. So, and of course, you know, I don't know if you know this, students that know me, but I will occasionally have someone come up to me and they'll come up with this music and they go, "Can you play this song for me?" And it looks like there's a bunch of ants on the paper. Anyone here read music? Some of you do? Okay, I don't read standard notation music. In other words, the one that looks like ants on the page. And all these little tic-tac-toe signs and these little flats and, oh, sharps. Sorry, they call those sharps.
Flats and sharps.
Flats and sharps, yeah. Flats and tic-tac-toes. I call it hard play music. But you know what? I started playing, I tell a lot of people, I joke around, I say I started playing the piano when I was 15, and then I stopped playing when I was 15. Because I just didn't have there was a couple bad experiences in between, but I also just didn't have the patience to learn to do all that stuff. And then I took up the guitar, and the guitar was kind of fun. Back in the 80s, you were considered good if you played it loud, and I was great. I knew how to turn it up. And finally, I learned how to play it. And then when I was 21, I was looking for a job at Fletcher Music Center, and I went 1 week. I moved out when I was 17. I always had a job, sometimes 2. And I had 1 week where I was in transition. I had a job that fell through, and I went 1 week, and I panicked. And I was looking all over, and Fletcher Music Centers had an ad in the paper. And I walked down, and he was asking me, "Can you play?" And I was, "Oh yeah, piece of cake. I took piano in high school. I played guitar." I was saying whatever I had to say to get a job. My bank account said, "Get the job." And actually, it was the first, during that little time, moving out of the house up until that point, it was the first time I was considering doing unemployment. And I felt a little bit that it was a blow to my ego. And I had some of the paperwork, and my manager said, well, and he came back and he said, well, let's see what we can do about that. And then I got hired. March 16th, I was officially hired, but March 18th is when I got started on the job. And I was still nervous. How am I going to learn to play? And then, fortunately, they sat me down and said, we don't teach people to play to be a pro. We teach people to play recreationally, for fun, having a great time. And then when he showed me the music, this weight just lifted right off my shoulders. Like, oh, but not only that, but you know, as you know, there were notes that had all the letters written into it. Okay, yeah, you guys. And you know, to this day, I still use music like this. Some of them it's not color-coded. That's how I learned to play everything. If you give me music that's standard notation, I might play a few notes, but my attention span is like, I don't need to do that. I mean, I let the instrument do all of the work. Now, I don't play by ear, in case some of you that never met me, I'm not playing by ear. I play by memory, okay? That means I take a song like this and I play it over and over and over until I can do it without the music. That's a different skill set. So if you've never seen music, or for those of you out there, this is going on our YouTube channel, so I got to make sure to make it real easy for everybody to see. Come to Fletcher Music Centers, come to Fletcher Music Centers. It's very easy to use, and we just matched the notes and the colors. And then these notes here, some of them are color-coded. It just helps me find the notes quickly and easily. And why do we use color coding? Well, we associate with color coding, right? Like when you're driving down the road, they use colors. They mean something, you know, like red is stop, right? Green is go. Yellow is speed up. Right? Yeah, I've had people say, only here in Tucson. No, it happens everywhere. I've been noticing. But anyway, so we use notes, colors. And if I want to do a little, I walk the line here. I'm going to turn on my country button here. I got an intro to set the mood. And then I just play the notes one note at a time. And here we go. I think it's going to even count for me. Make sure I got it on the right volume.
1, 2.
All right. Now, in order for me to do this, I need you guys to give me a good yee-haw. Yee-haw! All right. Whoops. And another yee-haw, everybody. Yee-haw. All right. Pause and see. Pause and see. Oh, and you know, one of my favorite Elvis tunes, I have several of them, but it happens to be one of the ones we teach. Love Me Tender. Such an easy song. Actually, was originally Orally. If you look up the song Orally and Love Me Tender, they're the exact melody. So Love Me Tender, see that? Keep it steady. See all the letters, how easy it is. You know, sometimes I meet a lot of students, they start off like this, and over the years they progress and they learn certain ways. And then sometimes a student will make the mistake of trying to learn harder and harder and harder. And I think it takes away some of the fun. So sometimes I like to just keep it simple and use the instrument to make the fun and the sound. So something like this, I'm going to put on, I'll put on this mellow here. I like this. Wow. See, anybody can do this. Well, I'm going to play one more song for you. And before I do, I want to ask, did you have a good time today? All right. And I know some of you are visiting for the very first time here in our store, I think. So I hope you had a great experience here with our store. I do, since this is being recorded and I get to put it on YouTube. If someone gets this far on the recording, I got to announce this. In the summertime, we are offering, we want to grow our music class program. All of our stores at Fletcher Music Centers are in Florida and Arizona. And we have a lot of folks. We had, where'd you say, where's Mike Bowler? Where are you from, Mike? Illinois. We had Illinois. We have some folks that are
Illinois.
from Texas. Actually,
New York.
What?
New York.
New York. We have, actually, occasionally we have people from the UK. And yesterday I noticed a few from the UK, and I was like, it's 1 o'clock here. Well, that was pretty late there. Sometimes I'll see them on with their video on, and they're having a glass of wine, you know, it's having a nightcap. Anyway, so, but I like to put this word out that we're doing a summer drive in summertime locally. We have a lot of people that go away for the summer, so we like to put a big push on classes. What we're doing is tell your friends, post this on our Facebook page, but we're offering some free introductory music classes for those with little or no musical experience. That's the factor there. We want someone who has little or no experience. Of course, if you have some, we're not going to turn you away either. But I always say it's better to have someone, it's nice to have someone with no bad habits. And no instrument is required. And Robert, that gentleman there is actually a Mesa student. He was kind enough to let us use his photo. Hopefully we can keep using that, and he doesn't ask for royalties. But anyway, they're easy, they're fun, and you know, the common question I get is, well, how does someone learn if they don't have an instrument? Well, we allow the use of our instruments here. So depending on the store where someone lives, we have some students that will come in. Laura has been coming in at least weekly, and we try to encourage coming in more if you can. And after the class, sometimes they'll stick around and then they'll just rehearse. I like to say rehearse, not practice. Rehearse sounds more fun. Rehearse their songs, and it's a great way to get started and seeing if it's something you enjoy. And if it's something that you're interested in, this marvelous little instrument, when someone makes a purchase, they get, oh, let me put that on there too. This is my free advertisement. Lifetime free lessons comes with the purchase of their first model, and which is really, to me, the best value, because the lifetime lessons in itself far outweighs the price of the instrument. And in the long term, it's like sometimes some of our staff members will say, why do we even do that? Why don't we sell lifetime membership packages and then give them an organ for free? Because that's technically what it adds up to. So depending on how you look at it. So it's a great way to get started. Whether you have an instrument or not, we'd love to see you have us join in online, even if you're not, if you're watching this from another state. We have ways of doing that, obviously through Zoom and what have you. So I want to thank you very much. I'm going to play one more number here for you. I'll finish up on here, okay? Let's see if I can remember how to play this song. This is a big bench for this one. Take a little one here. Okay, here we go. On your marks, get set, go. Trying to get the right tempo. it fast here. Here we go. I just thought this will go great for this. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, we hope you enjoyed your time today. And thank you so much out there, Zoomlanders, for joining us on such a short notice. Oh, and I got a standing ovation there. So, and as always, stay safe, keep playing music, and mwah, everybody.